Hi guys, I'm Dimension Jumper and today I'll be reviewing The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks, which was released in 2009 for the Nintendo DS. Now, the playthrough of this game takes part in the final entry of the adult timeline, after when Link and Tetra from The Wind Waker have found a new land and called it New Hyrule. And in this game, Link is asked by Zelda if he could accompany her to the Tower of Spirits, which is this massive tower that can be seen throughout all of New Hyrule. But on the way there, the Spirit Tracks, which can be used as the main part of transportation for Link's train, mysteriously disappear, and it's all because of Chancellor Cole and his minion guy, Starvin. And Chancellor Cole then separates Zelda's body from his spirit. And the reason for this is because Chancellor Cole needs Zelda's body to resurrect Malladus, the Demon King, and Malladus was locked away in the Tower of Spirits. Well, his spirit is, not his body. His body was destroyed or something. The main game doesn't really tell you how his body was separated from his spirit. Well, it kind of does, but I'll talk about that later in the game. So it's up to Link and Zelda's spirit to find Chancellor Cole, beat him, and then get her body back. Then you meet this locomotive called Arjen in the Tower of Spirits, and then she tells both Link and Zelda that they need to restore the Tower of Spirits because it's being broken up into pieces. So they have to find 4 different glyphs to go to the 4 different temples in each land to restore the Spirit Tracks and the Tower of Spirits. Now, the combat in this game is kind of like simple to get to grips with. You've got your spin attack, your slash attack, your jump attack, and several other attacks. So it's really kind of like nice because it's kind of like how the DS version. Well, it's kind of like how the Phantom Hourglass. Yes, that's what I meant to say. How Phantom Hourglass and Wind Waker did combat, and it's really enjoyable because you can use different attacks on different enemies. Like I said before, spin attack, jump attack, slash attack, and various other attacks. And the dungeons in this game are quite nice because there are different dungeons throughout the game that are based on the lands that it's based off. So you've got the Wooded Temple that's in the Forest Temple, the Blizzard Temple that can be found in the Snow Temple, the Marine Temple I think it's called in the Ocean Land, and the Fire Temple I think in the Fireland. And they all come with their own different bosses. So you've got this giant stag beetle, you've got a downsized version of Twin Rover, you've got a giant octopus head with giant tentacles, and a giant stone volcano guy thing. And there's also the Temple of Spirits, or the Tower of Spirits. Yeah, Tower of Spirits, not Temple of Spirits, it's Tower of Spirits. And like in Phantom Hourglass, it's just like the Legend of Phantom Hourglass. The Tower of Spirits is basically the Temple of the Ocean King, in which you have to go back again and again and again. And here's this is a bit like this. So in my Phantom Hourglass review, I said this: the main one that you have to repeat going to is the Temple of the Ocean King, which is where you find Linebeck and various sea charts in order to get clues to the ghost ship. Now, the ghost ship, it's like Jake and Logan Paul. They might appear once, but after time, they'll appear again and again, and it gets really annoying. And let's be honest, if you play Phantom Hourglass, the Temple of the Ocean King is trash, and so is Jake and Logan Paul. So I don't know why I'm bringing them up here, but they're a good comparison. And in Spirit Tracks, the Temple of the Ocean, no, not the Temple of the Ocean King, the Tower of Spirits is a bit more forgiving. So whereas as I compared the Temple of the Ocean King to Jake and Logan Paul, the Tower of Spirits is a bit like someone let's say I don't know, Mr. Beast, let's say, because in the Tower of Spirits, instead of repeating the same puzzles, you can now do different puzzles on different floors as you ascend higher. So it's kind of like a bit more forgiving, if you know what I mean. Just like Mr. Beast with a lot of his videos that he's made recently. So, yeah. And within the Tower of Spirits, you can find phantoms, just like in Phantom Hourglass. They're these massive dudes in armor, well, beings of armor, or it's kind of hard to explain. And Zelda Spirit, nevertheless, can enter a phantom and possess it, and can use that phantom's power. And there are a variety of phantoms. You've got your regular phantom, which can basically just attack you by using its sword. It can push heavy objects. It can do a variety of stuff. You've got a warp phantom, which is basically a phantom that can warp to a phantom eye. You've got a boulder rolling phantom, which can turn itself into a massive boulder and just crash through anything it goes through. And you've got a flame phantom, which is basically a phantom with a fire sword. And I think that's quite cool. That's probably one of my favourite phantoms. Yeah, and Zelda can only go into a phantom if you've collected 3 Tears of Light. And throughout the game, you can go back to it once you've beaten the temples. Oh, well, you can only go to the Temple of the Ocean, no, the Tower of Spirits, once you've beaten a temple. And I think the cutscene of how it does it is quite cool, because once you've beaten a boss in each of the temples, this blue light will just come from the temple and just go straight towards the Tower of Spirits. Once it gets to the Tower of Spirits, it will just pull a part of the piece down towards it, just like a magnet. And the tracks will lead you to the tower in like a blue track, because like there are like 2 different tracks. There's the normal tracks, which is like kind of like yellow tracks, and you've got the blue tracks. So yeah, the items in this game are basically a lot. So there's some new ones and some old ones. So the new ones consist of the whirlwind, the spirit pipes, and the whip. Now the spirit pipes and the whirlwind require the use of the microphone. So you have to, every time you use one of those items, you can have to blow into the microphone to make them work. And I think that's quite cool, because it interacts with you in a variety of ways. And it was got for more items such as the boomerang, the bombs, and the bow and arrow. And yeah, now it's time for some gameplay. Now, for the train sections in the game, you've got the speed limit, so you can like slow down, speed up, stop, or even go into reverse. And also, just like in Phantom Hourglass, you can draw a path to wherever you want to go, but unlike in Phantom Hourglass, you can always take a different route. So it's like you've still got that little bit of freedom. You can, if you press on the screen, you can fire up the cannon, and basically just, if there's a boulder or anything or enemies on the screen while on the train, you can basically just attack them to try and get them damage. Now then, there are some sections of the game, or in parts of the game, in the train sections, where you'll see these gateways. All you need to do, even though I've already activated it, is hit this triangle, this upside down triangle. Then once it's activated, you have to blow up on the whistle, the whistle, to basically activate it, so you can go through the portal and up here on the other side. So and they can take you to different parts of different regions. And again, you can basically just go to different areas and just basically do different things and stuff like that. Now, and here you got an enemy that can just only one hit. And the train, just like in Phantom Hourglass, you can customize it. So you've got different versions of it. So this one in particular, you need to get like different materials, and if you combine the train parts together, you can get like more hearts, which is here. And so yeah, now it's time to show you some attack like gameplay. For this game in particular, and Phantom Hourglass, you have to use the stylus to do a spin attack. If you do that, and also this is a great spin attack. You can only get this if you do like collecting selling collectible in the game. I think there's like those are the bunnies. Because what I mean by this is that there are bunnies that are scattered around the world, which you can see here. And I think if you get like 40 or something, 40 or 30, you can get the great spin attack, and you can only do that. Use this great spin attack if you spin around 3 times, and you go on like a barrage of spins, but it does make you dizzy. This is a stamp stand, which you can stamp on your stamp book, which Nico gives you, and the two collectibles you can collect from Nico is, if I can get it up, is the Ancient Shield, which is the same shield that Link in Wind Waker used, and also the Engineer's outfit, which can be seen in the beginning of the game. So that's been the gameplay of both the train and Link. Now it's time to go back to the review. So towards the middle of the game, Link and Zelda are a bit too late, and Zelda's body gets possessed by Malladus. And when Zelda's eyes open, when her body does, when it's possessed by Malladus, her eyes are kind of like these demon lizard looking eyes. It's kind of like creepy and terrifying at the same time, because it's just like these massive red eyes, and it's just weird. But the only way to get Zelda out, well, separated from Malladus' spirit, is by using the Bow of Light. Now you can get the Bow of Light in the desert temple in the desert land, which is part of the ocean land. And I think it's quite cool because like the ocean land is the only land in the game that has 2 different lands, with the ocean land being one of them and the desert land being the other one. And then you need to get the Compass of Light, which can be found in the Tower of Spirits. Well, in really deep in part of the Tower of Spirits. So then you defeat Malladus and yada yada yada, but Malladus' spirit is kind of like this sort of gas face thing. It's kind of like a face followed by gas sort of thing. It's kind of like, I kind of expected more from Malladus' body. And kind of a thing that I've noticed, and I saw it in a video like a few years ago, kind of to remember, but the guys in the video said that the Tower of Spirits and the Temple of the Ocean King kind of resemble heaven and hell, sort of. I think that's what he said, because I think he said that the further you go down into the Temple of the Ocean King, you're kind of descending into hell, and the Tower of Spirits, when you're going up, it's kind of like you're almost reaching heaven. And I kind of see where the guy's coming from, because with the Tower of Spirits you're basically going higher up to the sky, and with the Temple of the Ocean King you're basically going down lower into like the depths of the temple. And yeah, so the final fight is between Malladus, who's eaten Chancellor Cole and turned into this giant beast looking thing, and Link and Zelda. And I think this is a nice team up, because this is the second time that Link and Zelda has teamed up, because the first time they teamed up in this part of the timeline was in the Wind Waker. I think it's quite cool because Link can distract Malladus from like trying to basically distract Malladus, and then yeah, and Zelda can hit Malladus with light arrows. And yeah, I think it's a kind of nice team up. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.